The delicious to easy ratio is just off the goddamn charts.
Cause you know I'm all about them eggs, it's no trouble. I'm all about them eggs, it's no trouble. I'm all about cooking eggs, it's no trouble. I'm all about them eggs, eggs. Welcome to the best video ever. Cause every video I make, I want it to be the best ever. Cause I'm always trying to grow and grow and grow. But today is specifically awesome because we're talking about eggs. Eggs I probably eat more than anything in the world. Say what you will about cholesterol and this and that. Of course, don't eat like 1,000 eggs a day, but I like to eat my eggs. They're great for breakfast. They're also great to throw into things like stir fries. Of course, people bake in them a lot. They're so versatile, maybe the most versatile ingredient in the history of ever. What we're gonna focus on is all of the simple ways of cooking eggs. You're gonna learn all the tricks and tips, techniques, whether making omelets, fried eggs, poached eggs, boiled eggs, all that good stuff, egg sandwiches. And this is like the ultimate guide to eggs. Once you watch this video, you will become an egg master to the new level. Here we go. All right, first things first, what is your pesa? So I've got my non-stick pan, which is non-stick pan, a good one, is essential for cooking eggs because it will not stick. If you try to cook it with a non-stick pan, otherwise known as just a pan, you might end up with some sticking problems and you have to add more oil. But in this case, I don't need to add too much. Get the pan hot, let the oil swizzle dizzle around, and then I just crack my egg in. If you want to be extra smart, crack it into something else first, just in case. That helps it so you don't break the yolk. The goal here is to keep the yolk as untainted as possible because you want the runny yolk. If you don't like the runny yolk, this one isn't for you, but most people like the runny yolk. What I like to do is kind of get carefully around here. I just sort of pull, and you'll see as I pull, I'm pulling that white membrane out a little bit and just cooking it a little bit. And the goal of a fried egg is you want all this white to be cooked, you know, and you want the yolk to not be cooked so it's runny. So what I like to do is actually get it nice and crispy on the bottom, cover it, and what covering it does is it's gonna kind of steam it. So what's going on here is I covered it so the steam's gonna come up and cook the top of that egg. So when I took it off, look, now I have this perfectly cooked egg without overcooking the yolk, because if you do cook it too long, the yolk will become firm and stiff. Salt on top, a little salt on top, a little pepper. Boom. What I have here is a perfectly cooked egg that when I cut into it, look at that, I get that runny yolk. This is a great egg to put on top of a burger, just to eat straight up. Oh yeah. Oh, right now, a slight variation on the sunny side up, or fried egg as they call it, is eggs over easy, which starts exactly the same. Except this one you don't have to worry about cooking the top with a little lid because we get to do that a different way. And basically what's going on here is you're just gonna let it chill for a little bit. If you want to do the little white pulling trick that I showed you, you can. I've never really seen people do this. I just like it because it helps cook that top layer of white that doesn't want to be friends with the bottom layer. Alright, cool. It's starting to cook a lot to the point where I can easily kind of move it around the pan. Now, you want to be a little bit delicate with this, but you basically just take it like schmo and give it a nice little gentle flip. The goal is to not completely break the yolk. That is the only goal. Once it's over there, sizzle and zizzle, go on top. No big deal, you can kind of mix it around. But what happens a lot of times, people break the yolk. It's cool if you do, but what's fun about this is if you can not break the yolk, it cooks the top extremely fast. Turn it off the heat, and this thing is ready to go. You just slide it off. And now I've got a reverse sunny side egg that has the delicious yolk leaking out as I go into it. Very similar taste, just kind of a different method. Some people really like that too. It helps keep it a little more contained in there. Cool, so another quick variation, little oil. I'm using canola oil, veggie oil, whatever. You could use olive oil, but it will change the taste, is get your pan on like medium high, break it in there. Then take either a spatula, I like to use chopsticks, and just give it a mix. This is kind of like a scramble fry. You see this a lot for breakfast sandwiches, so it's particularly good for that. Let that chill until it starts to get, you know, firm enough where you can flip it. You flip it over, and then you're good to go. I believe I can fly. Boom shakalaka, just like that, ready to go. Same deal, a little salt and pepper at the end. And then you've got, this is a great first leg meat. Look at that perfect circle, but it's all mixed up for a perfect sandwich. And there we have it, folks. Welcome to the big show. Yeah, it's pretty clear I ain't no master chef, but I can make me some eggs and there'll be nothing left. Just take a couple of eggs and fry them up and add the right salt and all the right spice. You know my eggs are so good, but I don't know the rest of the song. So just stick around and watch it with me and you can cook along. You know you don't need to be no superstar TV chef, 'cause when you're done with this video you will be the best at cooking eggs, because you know you're all about them eggs. Let's give our good friend the omelet some love, shall we? Just take some eggs. Take 3 eggs, why not? Crack them in. And you can obviously beat this with a fork or a whisk. You can use the chopsticks. See, this is a lot of Chinese cooking, they do that. Just want to make sure it's really put together. Now at this point I can add some pepper, but do not, and I repeat, do not add salt. Everyone thinks just add salt and pepper to everything, wham bam, who gives a goddamn damn. But don't add salt, because salt will change the texture and the components of the eggs and start to leak out a lot of water, because the eggs are very, very finicky in that way. So you add salt at the end. That is why we're adding salt at the end to pretty much every egg recipe. Sometimes if you add salt in here and just let it sit for a few minutes, it will get all weird, like separate and stuff. Cool, so I'm just gonna beat these up. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of water to mine, just a little splash. You can add some cream, you can add some milk. This helps get them a little bit fluffier. Cream and milk help cut it if you don't have a lot of eggs, but if you add some milk, you can kind of like make more essentially. Now the first omelet I'm gonna show you is actually making the world's fastest omelet. You get your pan super hot, you do want it smoking, and then watch this. This is gonna happen very fast. You drop your egg in, right? And you just kind of go like this. Give it a whirl piece, right? This is more of a French technique, so I'm probably screwing up horribly, but it still works. And you're basically just going like that, very fast. As it starts to come together like so, you are practically done. That's it. Take it off the heat, right? Kind of get it into like a nice shape, like so. And boom, you can hit it with, you know, your toppings at this point. I'm just gonna do a little fresh cilantro, but that's all this egg requires. And that is the fastest way to make. If you're making eggs for a lot of people, and you've got your toppings already prepped, you can kind of just sprinkle like tomatoes on top, whatever you want. You'll notice if you do see like it's a little bit watery, that's not a big deal, because the egg will keep steaming itself in there. You can cook it for longer if you want. If you need to give it a few extra seconds, if you got the time, no big deal. Before I forget, the only thing I'll do is top it with some salt, of course. Put into that egg. Super creamy, super fluffy omelet. Mmm, wow, oh my god. Mmm, wow, oh my god. This is a little bit more of like the buffet style that you might see when you go to like a hotel or something. Basically just, you know, you get to pick what you want. You get some oil in a pan. I'm doing mushrooms and scallywags. Like I use scallywags in every single goddamn video because I love them. Just kind of saute these. You can throw in some meat at this point, tomatoes, whatever you want. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll actually take the ingredients that need a little cooking. They'll saute them up in a little bit of oil, and then they'll add on the more like fresh stuff like tomatoes on top. So I'm just gonna fry these down. Cool, so now what I do, add a little more oil, get that kind of spread around a little bit, nice and even, if possible. Now just add in some egg, and this is great if you're doing like an egg buffet. So you just scramble a ton of eggs, add in as much as you need to cover. I can add some pepper. And if you need to like kind of mix it around to get it a little more even, that's cool. Let that sit, medium heat for a little bit, and you'll see it'll start to like, you know, you can kind of go like that. That's actually a cool technique. You can kind of bend over, like kind of tuck in the sides, and not bend over, but don't bend over for anyone. Tuck in the sides and kind of let that white, tuck in the sides and kind of like roll it around so the stuff that's not cooked will cook a little bit. In this omelet, we're actually going to just add some cheese, because cheese is freaking awesome, as my good friend Bub says. It's not gourmet unless there's cheese melted on top of it. And once it feels like it's nice and solid enough to go like this, what you can do, it doesn't have to be fully cooked yet, but you just fold it over itself like so, right? And now we actually don't have to cook. Some people think you have to flip the egg, but we actually don't, because it will steam itself inside of there while the cheese melts. And I kind of put it on low. The less fried, the better. I find like a nice fluffy egg can have a little texture, a little crispy, but if you get it like overcooked, it can start to get a little bit rubbery. So I kind of like to cook it on low so it cooks. You can cover it at this point if you want, and then you're done. This is definitely one of the first omelets that I ever learned to make. I'm just gonna sprinkle some tomatoes on there. I just found that like this sort of style, it was really easy to make, and it was very filling and delicious breakfast. The good old omelet. Don't be afraid to hit it. Oh, I forgot. Don't forget to add salt. And what's cool about eggs is they take really well to salt after. So like I said, don't salt them before. You can salt them in the cooking process. Once they start to come together, then it's okay. If you salt them at the very beginning, like I said, it'll get weird, but once they start to come together, you can add salt. I kind of like to add it at the end. I find they just take well to salt at the very end, but it's up to you. Man, well, that is a good omelet. I just pray to God by the end of this video I don't hate eggs because I'm eating so many. Stop yourself, Josh. Limit. Now this final omelet method involves actually frying your ingredients first, like so, but then taking them out. And remember, the more you beat it, the fluffier it will be. So add a little oil to the pan. Go in like boom. Now here's a great example of the tilt method really helping you out. Because it's just straight egg. See that? See how it cooks that egg? And you get this kind of cool like waves in the center? How can you not love that? Beautiful. Now let that chill for a little bit. So the goal here is once it feels like it's nice and firm, kind of move it around and see if we can flip it. You can use a spatula, but I'm just gonna go for it. Pray to God. Oh no, I screwed it up. It's okay though, because you can kind of, well, I can kind of push it down. This one was a little bit too big. I think I used maybe 4 eggs by accident, but we'll pretend it worked perfectly because I'm a genius. Now what I do is I add my toppings. I'm turning the heat off at this point. It's nice and cooked. That egg was way too big for this pot, but it's okay because that's the thing. Sometimes things go wrong in the kitchen. You got to be able to fix them. So now, fold over, and even though it's a little silly shaped, it's still gonna be a freaking. Actually, it turned out really good considering. Cool. Check that out. So now, I've got my big omelet. Let that just cook in there for a minute while the cheese melts, but mostly the residual heat will do that. I like to do the old zip. Little brother's green zippy right there. You got a beautiful omelet, which you can eat. If you don't know how to eat, I'll show you. You just go like that, put it in your mouth, chew. Don't swallow until you're done chewing. Of course, I forgot the salt again, because I'm filming a video, folks. Don't judge me, please. Now let's have a little fun. I'll show you guys my favorite breakfast sandwich of all time, because eggs and breakfast go so well together. All right, now let's do a breakfast sandwich. Same deal, oil goes in. I'm just beating the egg up a little bit. I'm doing 2 eggs. I don't want too many. I mean, you could do a 3-egg breakfast sandwich. That is pushing it. Some people like it. A little pepper goes down. Now, kind of like the omelet, same deal. You sort of pull the sides a little bit. Pull the sides. You can make the egg pretty big because we're going to be folding this egg up. And this can just be like an omelet too. But what I like to do is kind of get it in a nice circle. If any little, say you get like a little hole, that's okay. Because you can always kind of, let's say there's a hole right there, I can kind of patch it up with the surrounding egg. See how cool that is? It's like architecture. Yeah, who went to architecture school now, Mike? What? So at this point, I can actually add the salt. Now that I'm remembering to add the salt while it's cooking, keep forgetting because I've got 45,000 eggs on my mind. Okay, so now it's getting pretty solid. What I like to do is sort of just fold it, right? The goal is, depending on your vehicle, you want to fold it to fit your vehicle. In my case, I've got one of these guys, right? A little bazing bazoom. So, I'm gonna get the heat off, because there's still plenty of heat in that pan that's cooking my egg. Right, like that. Fold it one more time over. Then I have this really cool looking gift basket of love that I can add cheese to. Gonna go a slice of cheese right there. And then how can anyone even consider forgetting the goddamn bacon? You can't. If you do, you're out of this game. However you need to get the bacon on there. You do whatever the hell you gotta do. Get the bacon. At this point what I like to do is put the top one on first, because that'll help kind of steam the cheese. And then you go like that. Put the bottom bun down. Just kind of slide it off. And let it just chill in there for a minute, because this will help the bun kind of wake back to life. And look at that. That's perfect sandwich. And now what you forgot is, check this out. While that's cooking, I'm going to add some Cholula hot sauce. Any hot sauce you like will do. And some ketchup. And I think that this combination, just these things right here, makes the perfect breakfast sandwich. Yes, you can get crazy and add all kinds of ingredients, but I think this is the primal experience of love when it comes to a breakfast sandwich. And look at that beautiful, bodacious lady right there. Cause you know I'm all about them eggs, No, damn it. I'm all about them eggs, eggs. Cut in half, filled with love, showing you the internal universe of the life of eggs. This one's just too good not to give you guys a taste of the good love. I love eggs, I really love. One of my obsessions, I rarely eat out, but every once in a while, the delis, they make these incredible egg sandwiches. I think better than the bagel stores, because they do the Kaiser roll, the round roll instead of the bagel, which actually I used to like the bagel more, but I think I might like this better. Too easy to make, too good. The delicious to easy ratio is just off the goddamn charts.